Once we create a GitHub account and we create our first repository, in this case, I've created demo repo 1. And then once we've also installed Visual Studio Code, our next step is going to be connecting this repository, which has been created on GitHub, to the local version that we are going to download and then modify. So what we want to do is open up VS Code, and our goal is to make this clone repository button work. To do that, we're going to have to give VS Code some information about our GitHub account. So we click clone repository, and we look up here and we see clone from GitHub is an option that we can click on. So we do that, and it says the extension GitHub wants to sign in using GitHub. So we can either disallow that or we can allow it. We're going to click allow. And right now, I am currently signed in as Richard Kelly-demo, which is what we want. And so a browser tab has opened, and I just click continue. And I have to authorize Visual Studio Code, which I want to do, and then I get redirected. And now in Visual Studio Code, I see a list of options for repositories that I can open up or clone from GitHub. And in particular, demo repo 1 is now visible as a repository that I am able to clone. So I click that, and I am prompted to save or choose a repository destination. I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to, actually, you know what? I am going to just go with the default. And I am then prompted to open the repository either in this window or in a new window. I'm just going to click open. And when I do that, I'm first prompted to decide if I trust the authors of the files in this folder. So every time you open a new folder in Visual Studio Code, you're going to get this prompt. And I'm going to say, yes, I trust the authors because the author is me. And I'm going to close the welcome. And right now, demo repo 1 is currently empty. And if I go to the source control, I can see that there are no changes. Another thing that has popped up is I've been prompted to build with agent. So this is an AI tool that is just built into Visual Studio Code. You can try it if you want, but we are not going to use this option just yet. So you can click the little X here, not the big one, that'll close the whole window, but the little one, and hide the secondary sidebar for now. If you want to bring that back, you can just click up here and toggle it back on. But for now, let's hide that, and let's just confirm that we can create a file and have it show up in the list of changes that we've made. So if I click this button here, the File Explorer, and then I go to demo repo 1, or whatever you named your repository, I can click the new file button, and I can create a file. So let's just call that hello.md. Remember that .md files are markdown files, which has the syntax that we discussed in class. And I'm going to use some of that syntax to create a title, hello world. And let's write some greeting text. This is a test, period. So when I do that, the file is created, and you'll notice up here in the upper right of the tab for the hello.md file, we see the letter U, and then we see a filled in circle. That filled in circle is an indication that there are unsaved changes in the file. So if I hit Control S and I save, then that dot goes away and we're left with just the X to close this tab. Now on the left here, for the source control button, you'll notice that a 1 in a circle has now appeared. And that corresponds to a new change that is currently untracked. So if I look, I see a list of changes under source control, and I can see clearly that hello.md is an untracked file that we want to track in our repository. So the next video is going to talk about the steps that we go through to stage, commit, and sync changes from the local version of our code back up to GitHub.